The phone buzzed against my thigh, a sharp vibration slicing through the quiet of my empty apartment. It was 2:17 a.m., and the screen glowed with my daughter's name. Lila, only 10, her picture a frozen smile from last summer's picnic. My heart lurched. Kids don't call in the dead of night unless something's wrong. I answered, my voice thick with sleep and dread. Lila? Baby, what's going on? Her small, trembling voice crackled through. Daddy, they're yelling. I'm scared. Can you come get me? In the background I heard it, a man's voice low and venomous, then Sarah's sharp and breaking. Glass shattered. My ex-wife's new life was unraveling, and our daughter was caught in the blast. I grabbed my keys, the metal cold and jagged in my palm, and stumbled into the hallway, my pulse hammering. The drive to Sarah's house was 30 minutes across town, but every red light felt like a betrayal of its own. My mind churned, replaying the last 2 years. Sarah had left me for him. Elliot, the charming real estate guy with a slick smile and a leased BMW. She called our marriage stagnant, said I was too consumed by work, too distant. I'd begged her to stay, for Lila's sake, but she'd already chosen. Now Lila's frightened voice echoed in my skull, and I wondered what kind of man Elliot really was behind the polished facade. The streets were empty, slick with recent rain, reflecting streetlights in fractured, oily pools. My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles white, as memories clawed at me. The first red flag had been subtle. Sarah's late nights at work events, her phone angled away when she texted, her sudden interest in yoga classes she never attended. I'd rationalized it. Denial was easier than confronting the truth. Even after she left, I'd convinced myself she was happier, that Lila was safe. But the edge in her voice tonight, the crash of glass, it tore through that fragile lie. I pulled into Sarah's driveway, the house looming dark except for a single lit window. The air smelled of wet grass and something acrid, like spilled wine. I killed the engine and sat for a moment, my breath shallow, steeling myself. The front door was cracked open, a sliver of light spilling onto the porch. My stomach twisted. I stepped out, the gravel crunching under my boots, and pushed the door wider. The living room was a wreck, shattered wineglass on the floor, a lamp tipped over, its shade crumpled like a broken wing. Sarah stood in the kitchen doorway, arms crossed, her face pale and streaked with mascara. Elliot was nowhere in sight. Mark, she said, her voice tight, like she was holding back a scream. What are you doing here? Lila called me. I said, my tone sharper than I intended. She's scared. Where is she? Sarah's eyes darted upstairs, then back to me. She's fine. It was just an argument. You didn't need to come. Glass breaking at 2 a.m. doesn't sound like just an argument, Sarah. I stepped closer, my voice low but shaking. Where's Elliot? Her lips parted, but no words came. Then, from the staircase, Lila's small figure appeared, clutching her stuffed rabbit. Daddy. She ran to me, her bare feet slapping the hardwood, and buried her face in my chest. I knelt, wrapping her in my arms, her trembling body igniting a protective fury I hadn't felt in years. It's okay, sweetheart, I whispered, stroking her hair. I'm here. But my eyes locked on Sarah, searching for answers she wasn't giving. The air felt thick, charged with unspoken truths. Sarah's voice softened, but it carried an edge. Mark, you can't just barge in here. This is my house now. Your house. I stood, keeping Lila close. Our daughter's terrified and you're worried about boundaries? What the hell happened here? She flinched, her gaze dropping to the shattered glass. It was nothing. Elliot and we had too much wine. Things got heated. Heated enough to scare Lila? My voice rose, and Lila's grip on my hand tightened. I lowered it, forcing calm. Where is he, Sarah? He left, she said too quickly. He's gone for the night. It's fine. But it wasn't fine. I saw it in her trembling hands, the way she avoided my eyes. I'd seen those signs before in the months before she left me. Guilt masquerading as defiance. I wanted to shake her, to demand the truth, but Lila was watching, her wide eyes darting between us. Let's get you to bed, kiddo, I said, guiding Lila upstairs. Her room was a sanctuary of pastel walls and fairy lights, but the air felt heavy, tainted by the chaos below. I tucked her in, her rabbit clutch tight, and promised I'd stay until she fell asleep. Her small hand lingered in mine, and I fought the urge to cry, not for me, but for her, caught in a world fracturing around her. Back downstairs, Sarah was cleaning the glass, her movements jerky, mechanical. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "Talk to me, Sarah. What's really going on?" She paused, a shard of glass glinting in her hand. "You don't get to interrogate me, Mark. You're not my husband anymore." "No, but I'm Lila's father. And I deserve to know if she's safe." Her shoulders slumped, and for a moment, I saw the woman I'd loved for 12 years, vulnerable, conflicted. "Elliot's not who I thought," she whispered, barely audible. "He's intense. Charming 1 minute, then." She trailed off, her eyes distant. "Then what?" My voice was a low growl. "Does he hurt you? Did he touch Lila?" "No," she snapped, but her voice cracked. "He'd never touch her. It's just he gets angry. Tonight was bad. He threw the glass and Lila saw." My blood ran cold. "And you let him stay here? Around our daughter?" "I didn't know it would get this bad," she said, tears spilling. "I thought he was better than." She stopped, but the unspoken word hung between us, "you." It stung, but I pushed it aside. "This wasn't about me. You need to get him out," I said, stepping closer. "For Lila's sake." Sarah laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "You think it's that simple? He pays half the rent. He's entwined in everything. I don't know how to untangle it." I wanted to scream, to tell her she'd chosen this mess, but the weight of her words stopped me. She was trapped, just as I'd been trapped by my own denial years ago. "You don't have to do it alone," I said, softer now. "But you have to do it. For her." She nodded, wiping her eyes, but the silence that followed was heavy with doubt. I glanced at the clock. 3:04 a.m. "I'm staying tonight," I said. "On the couch. For Lila." Sarah didn't argue. I settled on the lumpy sofa, the house creaking around me, and checked my phone. A text from an unknown number glowed on the screen. "You don't know the whole story, Mark. Ask her about the nights she still calls you." My breath caught. It had to be Elliot. The words were a blade, twisting in my gut. What did he mean? Had Sarah been lying to me, to him, to herself? I stared at the ceiling, the shadows shifting like ghosts. The betrayal wasn't just hers. It was a web, ensnaring us all. Lila's scared voice, Sarah's trembling hands, Elliot's cryptic text. They were pieces of a truth I wasn't sure I wanted to face. But for my daughter, I'd unravel it, no matter how much it hurt.